Hello, amazing coders. Welcome back to another exciting Bitbox coding lesson. In our previous class, we learned about data types. We discovered that computers can work different kinds of information, such as string and numbers. Amazing. And we learned how these data types can help us build apps. Today, we are going to learn one of the most important concepts in programming called variable. Variables are used by every programmer in the world, whether they are building games, websites, apps, robots, or even artificial intelligence systems. Ready to learn this powerful skill? Yes, let's begin. So let's imagine you have a toy box at home. Whenever you want to keep your toys safe, put them inside the box. Later, when you need them again, you simply open the box and take them out. Exactly. A variable works exactly like that. A variable can store so many items in the box. Variables are used to store informations or data. A variable is a storage box inside a computer program. Instead of storing toys, but it stores information. All right, let's get more deeper into this. What is a variable? A variable is a named container used to store information. Once information is stored inside a variable, we can use it again and again without typing it repeatedly. Think of the variables as labels attached to the story boxes. The label helps us to find information quickly whenever we need it. Variables saves time and make coding easier. So why do programmers use variables? Imagine your name 50 times in one program. That will be a lot of work. Instead, you can store your name in a variable once. Then you can simply use the variable whenever needed. Variables help programmers to do the following things: save time, organize information, reduce mistakes, reuse data easily. That's why variables are one of the most powerful tools in programming. So how do we create variable? Creating a variable is very simple. There are three main important parts you need to know. First, you choose a variable name. It could be anything, maybe name. It could be age to store the person's age, name to store the person's name. It could be anything relating to what you want to store. Do you understand that? It could be time, talking about dates or time. It could be anything. So, secondly, use the assignment symbol. We are going to get into this later in the practical. Third, by the value to store. Together, they create a complete variable. So the first step in going about this variable is you choose a variable name. Every variable needs a name. The name helps us to identify what information is stored. For example, animal. It can be a variable. So I want to store something like a dog, a lion. So animal is a very important and precise variable name. The next one can be player name. When you're playing a game on your phone or your tablet, you need a player name to store the names of the players, or welcome text, or favorite colors. This name helps us to understand what variable contains. Programmers choose meaningful names. So the next step is the assignment symbol we'll talk about. The assignment symbol, their special symbol. It looks like the normal is equals to that we use in our mathematics, equals to. But in programming, it means something different. It means store this value inside this variable. So basically, for the variable now, whatever you write on the right hand side of the equals to is stored inside the variable name on the left hand side. So the right hand side of the equals to is stored inside the left hand side of the variable. So think of it putting something into a storage box. So now, without wasting much time, let's try this and see. Let's create a new app. Invent your own app. So we want to create an app with different theme backgrounds, and we store different content on it, different objects. So I'm going to create like a forest background. So fill, open bracket, and close bracket. You want to do the close bracket and open bracket, you hold your shift button on your key, then you press number 9 for the open bracket. Or you hold down the shift button and you press 0 for the close bracket. So I'm going to type in forest. All right. So I'm going to be testing my project along the way. I'm going to be testing my project along the way. All right. So I have the forest outlined here. So the next thing is I want to create an animal called bear. I'm going to put it in location, as I can see on my screen. So stamp, okay, open bracket. So I'll call it bear. I'm going to use bear 4. You can choose any animal from the asset. Let me just, yes. Then I want to give it an X and Y position. So I'm going to give it 120 and 102. 120 and 102. 120, 102, and a size of 200. So we play this now. So you can see the beer right here. So now I want to store, I don't want to be writing this stamp anytime I need the beer. So I want to create a variable for it. So all you have to do is just write here. So I'm going to write the name animal 1. So you can tell that this is very good. So this variable name is perfect because I'm storing an animal. But because I want multiple animals in this project, so I'm calling it animal 1. So I've stored this whole. All right. So now we have all our stamp and name on the screen. So you can go ahead and pause this video and try yours and see what you can come up with in all this object that you found here. Okay. All right, so we have all our stamps and our text. We have put them all in a variable. You can go ahead, you can put space to make it very neat and to make it very clear. So you can go ahead and add different characters. You can even choose a different theme. It could be underwater, put different fishes in different places, add different elements. And you can use the variable to do different things. We should be talking about them in our next lesson. So I want to give you some rules of writing the variables. Rule 1, variable cannot use JavaScript keywords. So you can't use fill for a variable. You can't use stamp as the name of a variable. So you can't use if, else, text, or any other keyword that Bitbox is using. Rule number 2, variables are case sensitive. That's why I usually advise all your characters, your words should be in small letter. So you have any issue. Because if you write a variable in capital letter or a title case or sentence case, I use another case in another place, another capital letter or different version of it, it won't work perfectly. So maintain small letter in all your characters and your coding. So that's one thing you should take note also. So because first name with the capital letter N is different from the first name where we have capital letter S and capital letter N. So the third variable cannot contain spaces. So you can't put animal and put space, then number. No, they have to be together. If you are writing two words, you combine them together. First name, you write them together, no space allowed in variables. So lastly, the next one, each variable must be unique. So you can't use a variable for two different things. I can't say animal 1 for bear and write animal 1 again for butterfly. It doesn't work that way. It's going to give an error. So one variable for one object. So take note of that. The next rule, numbers and letter can be combined. You can use numbers and letters just like I've seen in my project, but numbers cannot start a variable. A variable cannot start with number. I can't write two animal. I can't write one animal. So I have to write number at the last after the word. So take note of all this. The next one, we have camel cases. Professional programmers often use camel cases when you're combining two words together. For example, maybe you want to create a start button. You want to create something like a start button. So you can write the first one in small letter, then the first word of the second letter in capital letter. This is what they call camel cases. So that is what most programmers usually use. And so do whatever you can create with this, be creative, and let's see what you can create. So let's have a recap. So today's lesson, we learned variable stores information. So we learned variable stores information. So variables can store text, variable can store numbers, variables can store app data. Variable can help us reuse information. Variable follows important naming rules. And lastly, camel case help makes the code easier to read. So this is a fantastic work you have done today. So you've learned the most important skill in programming. Variables are used in almost every program ever created. As you continue learning, you will use variables in games, apps, websites, and even robots. Keep practicing, keep experimenting, and keep coding. See you in the next lesson, future software engineers.